I want to see some of this Affirmative Action Airlines things I sent you, because it's kind of ethereal to talk about the death of competency. What's the metric for that? How do you quantify that? Planes are a great way to measure that, because it's incredibly. Anthony and I talk about this all the time. We're always sending each other pictures of some fucking plane. There was one today. I think I sent you this at last minute. Delta Airlines today, this morning, had the fucking landing gear wasn't coming down. And thank God, by the way. So the landing gear not coming down is incompetence. There was a 50-year-old white man, you know, the kind that they didn't want in the submarine checking out the Titanic, those boring old cis males, who knew his job well enough to know that when the landing gear comes down with the rubber, it leaves little streaks of rubber on the tarmac. So he aimed the plane. He has no landing gear. He aimed the plane such that the nose would touch this rubber streak, and it would, obviously there's going to be a lot of damage, but it would minimize the damage and thereby minimize the deaths. So we have incompetence, new school incompetence, the landing gear not landing, and old school competence, figuring out where to land. There it is. Delta plane lands safely at Charlotte Airport without front landing gear. So he found a fucking rubber streak and made sure the plane went on that. The plane landed with its nose gear in the up position. The aircraft came to a safe stop on the runway. Everyone's okay. I'm telling you, you're going to keep seeing more and more of this. Remember the imbecile, the stupid, likely stoned black woman who got sucked into the engine? We just had that happen again. Just pull up all the Affirmative Action Airline stuff, because, you know, one or two examples are anecdotal. This ain't no anecdote anymore. This is everywhere. And planes like bumping into cars. What's this one? Worker killed. Oh, yeah. Was sucked into Delta aircraft. This is not the fat pig that they made all the memes about. This is another one. And thanks to the baby monsters, I was educated about this. It's not just affirmative action. It's likely fucking weed. You're high out of your mind.
They said this one was suicide.
I
know, it's hard to...
I'm not really... That's a...
He had the note in his pocket.
Yeah. We took the shreds of paper. We washed the jam off of them all. We got the raspberry jam off. We dried them out. And then we used AI to reassemble the note. And it said, I'm going to jump in a motherfucking engine today, boys. But pull up another one. This is like the Hillary death count. Like you go, okay, that was just one. Okay, stop. This is where I cloud my point a bit. I'm talking about incompetence in aviation. No, I'm talking about incompetence in general, and I'm saying it's especially evident in aviation. But then I just start showing asshole black people at the airport. I'm not really sure that helps my case, but I can't resist showing this kind of stuff. It's the monkey exorcist.
It's like gravity's not working on her.
Do they keep dipping down? Did she say mamas say this, bitches say this?
This is the sequel to the Gravity movie with Sandra Bullock.
It's a perfect loop, too. You can't really tell where the hard cut is. You could just watch it for hours. That's video art. What is that? Is it like black people not normally drinking that much?
It's she needs an exorcist. It's Nigmata.
But we've seen this pattern here. And it seems like disproportionately represented at airports. Are black people like not used to drinking alcohol or something? And maybe at the airport they can't smoke weed, so they get drunk and they're like, I'll have 3 double Hennessy's. I don't know. Let's pull up another. So you can't really include that in Affirmative Action Airlines. That's a cheap shot by McInnes over here. And I'm sorry. We got Chris on the line discussing FAA incompetence.
What's up, Gav?
What's up, dude?
You're right spot on with this stuff. And the one area that I have a friend of mine who was in the Air Force, and he's told me that about 5 years ago in this area, being an air traffic controller, they are so starved for people that they were offering an insane bonus, 6 figures, for any qualified individuals who would want to either be relocated or come up and work in this area. Now, I know you guys fly a lot, and you don't want to think about it, but talk about one job where you cannot make a mistake, ever, or literally hundreds or thousands of people are dead. And these are the people that are controlling all of the aircraft that are up in the air, and there's just not enough qualified people to do it. It's exactly what you said.
Leave sports alone. We don't want someone throwing pitches at 40 miles an hour because they're an Asian dwarf and they need to be on the fucking Yankees. And leave aviation alone. Our lives depend on it. Can meritocracy at least have a few enclaves where no one's allowed to meddle with it? We're fucking flying a building sideways. Someone took bigger than this studio. Someone took this floor, put it sideways, and shot it into the sky. I want nerds. I want tough nerds running these fucking things.
And you know you have to be a certain kind of individual to be able to do that job. Nerves of steel, whatever you want. Like I said, you can't make a mistake, and these people crack easily. So he wound up being an air traffic controller down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on the military base. But this area, literally, because you have JFK, LaGuardia, Teterboro, Newark, Islip, MacArthur, you have all these airports around here, and they are starving for people to help them take control of the airways. They were offering literally $150,000 bonus just to find a qualified individual on top of a 6-figure salary.
My buddy's dad was a really competent plane mechanic, but he's like 80. I think he's dead now, actually. Old Italian dude, smoked like a pack a day, made his own wine. And they go, can you please come out to Newark and help us with these planes? He's like, no. And they go, well, we'll get you an Uber. We'll drive you there. We'll pay you $100 an hour. And he goes, I'm not allowed to smoke in the Uber. And they go, okay, we'll get you a limousine that you can smoke in. We'll pick you up in a limousine, drive you to Newark, you do your stuff, and then smoke all you want, drink all you want, and then we'll drive you back home. Because we're down to zero. We're down to zero competence.
Right. It's insane. It's insane, and it's reaching a point now where something is eventually going to happen, and they're going to have to hide the fact of why it's happened, and it's because they have underqualified, undereducated, whatever you want to call them, controlling the skies.
All right, thanks for calling.
You got it, man.
Good problem. Interesting problem we have. So I'm on the plane in Lisbon, and we're stuck on the tarmac, and it's got these 2 props, and I go, what's going on here? I'm so hot that I just go to the back because the door's open. I'm talking to the flight attendants, and they go, "Oh, these are these planes. The 2 prop are better for the environment." I go, "I don't care if you use babies to fuel this plane. I want to get there in one piece. I don't want to cut a corner. You know they're fucking talking about banning pizza ovens in New York.
Wood-burning pizza ovens.
Can you imagine? What are the mathematics of this? This is New York City. Traffic is bumper to bumper 24 hours a day. Constantly emitting fumes. George Washington Bridge, Tappan Zee, Lincoln Tunnel. Nothing but fumes from cars bumper to bumper. And they're like, yeah, but the pizzas. Whew. Al Gore could do one flight. He could go to one conference and it would obliterate an entire generation of brick oven pizzas. But the competency crisis isn't just aviation. We went to this McDonald's trying to get a grizzle shake. That's what the kids called it. And the black dudes there, it was 100% black people with like yarn hair. They just couldn't figure out like the order. So I said, do you want a receipt? Yes, I do. I want to go through the inventory when we get it. At one point, I'm like, no, she's got a, whatever, the M&M Blast. And I go, that didn't show up yet. So I'm waiting there. We waited so long, they started giving us other people's orders. And I'm tempted to just drive away with a bunch of fucking fish sandwiches. But I was like, no, I'm waiting for the shake. That's yours. There's a worse demographic. To quote Bill Burr, it's called white women. Old white ladies. Yes, the competency crisis is not about race, believe it or not. We were at a fucking McDonald's today on my way home. I just drove back today from Cooperstown. Fucking, it was 100% women over 60. 100%. They have no fucking clue what they're doing. And I go, are there Grimace shakes here? No? Okay, let's go. My wife's like, no. The youngest boy needs some food. He didn't eat at breakfast because it was too exotic. You know how kids are. And I go, oh, okay. So then the other kids order their drinks. The old ladies are just serving the drive-thru. There's like 100 years of cars going by. And I'm not getting my Happy Meal for my boy. So I go, hey, I feel like we've been forgotten here. And she looks up at the dumb 1980s software screen. And she's like, no, they're handling it. Who's they? You're they. And of course, we get the Happy Meal right after that. And I'm like, this isn't complex systems. This is fucking McDonald's. What is going on with this world, this entire universe? No one knows what the fuck they're doing. Okay, let's bring up another affirmative action airline. Can I get another beer? I'm sobering up here.
They change their seat to indicate that they're from. And the person comes, you're like, hey, you
okay,
get to go
stop.
to...
This, again, is a total cheap shot by me. I'm being petty and kind of racist, actually. I'm talking about the competency crisis, but I'm showing this fucking bitch, black woman, who... These shouldn't be part of this mix, but whatever. I never said I was consistent, to quote Jim Norton. So she sees people getting bumped up to first class. And she goes, I like that. I want to go to first class. That's what I do when I'm in a hotel and I see people going up to the penthouse. I'm like, wait a minute. I start pushing P. I want to go to the penthouse. I want to have the top floor. Why do you get the top floor? So her contention is, and I think she's lying, I fly 20 times a year, 25 times a year. No, you don't fly twice. You don't fly every fortnight. You're a fucking liar. That's like Ezra Levant. That's like fucking George Clooney in that movie. What was it? Up or something? Up and Away. There's no way you fly 25 times a year. So she sees someone get bumped up to first class and she's like, oh, okay. I'm a black woman. We are the most valuable people in the world. I want to get up to first class. So she sits in first class, refuses to leave until she gets disembarked. And this is her talking to the guy who has to, poor bastard, who has to deal with her.
They change their seat to indicate that they're from. And the person comes, you're like, hey, you get to go to the front seat. And then they change it in the computer. Well, that's our policy. Yes, that's why we have upgrade lists, and that's why all passengers have their assigned seat. It still was the availability to buy it when you checked in, so there was nobody there. And how do you pick? So that's how we have upgrade lists. So passengers that have status, other airlines that fly.
Status?
Yes.
What status? You mean white?
Status. If you fly, you fly X amount of dollars a year on our airline, you have different privileges. You're a priority member.
Obviously.
I think I am. I took 25 flights this year. That's what you get for profiling me again. I look like I don't take 25 flights. No, I never said that.
Stop. On the off chance she did take 25 flights and they're all Delta or whatever this airline is, why don't you sign up for the fucking Air Miles program, you fucking moron? It's a pain in the ass. Did I already tell that story? Yeah, probably. I recently was on a flight and in Austin, and some guy showed up with a wheelchair. I think I've told this story before. And he goes, my friend. And I shuffled on to the flight with the wheelchair. He went past the entire line into the lounge. So I gave him $5. I should have given him 20. And then he dropped me off at the lounge. So I had to walk like a handicapped person after I got out of the wheelchair to avoid the truth, which was I had just stolen handicapped valor. Yeah, I'm sure I've told that story on the air. Okay. Sorry, go back to this dumb cunt.
Then it was the customer service that I was getting. Everybody's getting smart with me. I feel like I got kicked to the back of the bus. I kind of
back
feel like
of the bus.
A little uptight with me a little bit about it. See, you just made me get off the flight and we're holding up a plane. What?
So you're the one that caused a disruption on the aircraft. That's
I caused a disruption?
Yes.
When?
That's why we're standing here talking. That plane was ready to depart.
When did I cause a disruption? When they picked me up and told me to move to another seat, and I spoke to a lady all the way in the back.
So the flight attendants requested that we reopen the door per the captain so we can have this discussion.
Oh,
okay?
So the flight attendants had a problem. It wasn't me.
If you were misbehaving or not following the flight if you are not following the flight attendants' instructions.
I sat in my seat. What else can you follow?
If you are not following their instructions,
you just got me out of my seat, sir.
Yes, I understand.
So how could I not be following instructions when you just pulled me out of my seat?
You're following my instructions.
No, I'm saying I was already sitting in my seat before you even came up to me. So why did you tell me to get out of my seat when you're saying I'm not following instructions? Are there cameras on there? I'm pretty sure there's cameras on there. Now I feel some type of way.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Now I feel some type of way.
We have two options at this point. We can go up there and continue this conversation, or you can resume your seat. I believe it's 14A. You can sit down. You just pulled me out of my seat. I feel uncomfortable.
Wait, he's letting her go back?
Escalate this situation.
Okay.
And they have my bag,
okay,
too.
we'll get your bag retrieved.
Yeah, I want my bag now, please.
Okay. And then
I want my bag
I'll give you my thing so you can have it. It's a...
What a fuck. Anthony talks about this all the time. Like, can we just have a little bit of reverence for a flying building, please? It's not really the... Chuck E. Cheese is the place to start flexing. Wings. If they sell wings, you can start saying, why the fuck are you sitting me here? This is bullshit. I should be over there. But a fucking flying building? Please shut your mouth. It's like the cops, what we always said here on when I used to do the show from here, just seethe, be angry. Anyway, so I was on the flight going from Lisbon to Secret Place, and I'm talking to the guys, and I'm like, there's no more plane mechanics. And I'm talking to a flight attendant, and he's like, yes, it's a problem. Again, well, I'm sorry. And he goes, it's a problem. And, I was thinking of it too. A lot of people don't want to do it. It's so much work. It's a lot of tests, a lot of studying, a lot of people choosing this. And I'm like, do you think it's door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, and you chose flight attendant? Flight attendant is a loser choice. You're a loser, sir. And part of the problem is that there's no stigma in your fucking choice to be a waitress in the sky. Oh, you almost became a plane mechanic? You almost understood the most complex physics known to man, but you chose to give people an orange juice? You think you're in the same fucking league as an engineer, as a mechanic? Dude, you're a chick. And I would be fine with that if you were gay. I would have no problem. I don't care if gays are chicks.